beached on Bedrock in the Bendleby Ranges.
We may need the winch for this.
This week, we're back on the big hills, being blown away by the views and climbing the best 4x4 tracks the Flinders Ranges has on offer.
Oh my goodness, I've just seen where Simon is in the Iveco.
But it doesn't stop there, as we take on the valley depths and dry creek runs of the park's freshest 4x4 challenge trail.
Rock crawling, it is the most extreme example of wheel placement.
Holy...
Watch your rear diff housing on the rock. Each step that you come across, more challenging step.
Oh, do you want to do this? I think you should do it.
This is awesome fun. It's usually what gets said before something breaks.
The vehicle did start to slip down and it was going to create an issue where I could have damaged myself and my son Jamie.
Oh!
We're building up to an epic finish.
Is that bad?
So don't miss a second of this or next week's Your 4x4 episode.
Oh.
So we woke up in Bendleby's cabin park, which we were delighted by. We actually scored a little bit of aircon, which I'm hearing most of the convoy didn't, so we won't rub that in too much with them.
It was good to be surrounded by a little bit of luxury, and by luxury I mean a shower and a flushing toilet. So then it was air the tyres down, get ready for the slopes.
Charlie comes over and says, guess what guys, Simon and I have organised an awesome start to your Bendleby tour.
Heading for the 9 out of 10 truck up in the Hungries. It should be a fun day. Let's see how we go.
Hey, like a kangaroo?
No, that's Ethan.
Oh.
Wasn't too bad of a transit, didn't really have to knock it down to low range until we got to the bottom of the range.
Jamie, what's the difference between toilet paper and a curtain?
I don't know.
So it was you. Oh my goodness, I've just seen where Simon is in the Iveco.
Just take this section coming up with the rock shelf in it is looking pretty good. Just take it nice and easy through here. Step the left up and the right up. Walks up and over that, no worries.
There was a part that pretty much went straight up like that.
And Mike is rocking and rolling like no business.
One moment we're looking at the track, next minute we're just looking up at the sun.
The Mighty Prado doesn't get stuck easy. We crawl up there, no problems at all.
The weather was already very hot and very dry and windy. The ground was quite dry. So a lot of rock and really loose, powdery dirt, almost like talcum powder.
I don't know what it is with the dust in this state, but it's just next level. It gets to places you didn't realise you had. We'll say.
As you climb a little bit, all of a sudden you've got these 360-degree views across the whole of the Bendleby Ranges and across the Flinders Ranges.
Insert more colourful swear words.
I don't like heights.
Bit daunting when you looked left and right and you're just at a sheer drop of 500 or 600 metres.
I don't go anywhere. Is this funny, is it?
Yep.
We are on top of the Hungry Highway and it's time to make the descent.
Once we worked out where the road was, somewhere in front of us, off we went.
What I tell you, from up here, you can't see anything.
One deep breath in and we roll.
Over the edge and into oblivion.
With almost no visibility coming down onto this track.
If this is 9 out of 10, holy heck.
Oh, the Oreos are gone.
Oh my goodness, the seatbelts hold me in place.
That's what seatbelts are invented for.
Didn't need that side step.
Somebody's left some metal on that rock there. All right, Mickey Thompson back in convoy. That was fantastic descent.
Is this the most fun you can have with your pants on?
It's something that you don't normally get in four-wheel drive parks where you get challenging tracks, but it was definitely a 9 out of 10, there was no doubt about it.
In the words of the classics, but did you die? No.
There's two mountain ranges here actually where we are, the Bendleby Ranges and the Hungary Ranges,
which differ in flora and terrain. The Hungary Ranges are typically more arid and there is more rock-based terrain, which seems to offer more challenge for people who wish to drive around.
The families now run both properties. Whilst they're separate, they run them as a joint tourism operation. Really good collaboration there so that they both get some benefit out of their four-wheel drive tours.
We position campsites in sheltered and picturesque locations in a style of camping that we would be most happy to camp in. We have basic amenities which include a camp kitchen, multiple shower and toilets, and then a host of different driving tracks varying in challenge. There are a number of powered campsites which are van accessible, remote sites, and a number of shelter sheds where people can sleep or shelter in the shed if there is any weather that makes that necessary.
Hello, Cheeky Chops. Here's one of our natives. I was actually just talking about some of the wildlife that we've seen. We've seen kangaroos, emus, wallabies, jamies, some horses, a murder of crows in the background. Maybe that's why this little one's hiding over here with us. Pipe down. Never work with animals or children.
There was a bit of a Y-junction in the Hungary Highway and Charlie's dragged us all up to one direction and said, you've got to come and have a look at this. We've got local knowledge. Of course we're going to go and have a look at this. Parked up the convoy, everybody got out and went for a quick walk, and it was spectacular.
It was called Eagle Nest Gorge, just amazing serenity. It was truly a beautiful sight to look at.
We just had these 360 views all over the valley, absolutely amazing, looking out towards Port Augusta.
The view. I couldn't help myself. Camera come out, get some actually beautiful landscape shots. What you've got is the ranges here and in the background, the plains. You can see for miles and miles and miles.
You can just never put a price on local knowledge. It's just been a true blessing on this trip to have lucked out so much with the locals just being so open hands and showing us their knowledge in their backyard. It's really been amazing.
And there's a thing called SA rocks and you find them hidden everywhere, especially across Bendleby, and people plant them in cool locations like this.
As we've come off of Eagles View Lookout, we continued just over the ridgetop area, so down through some descents and then another little climb.
We then got pulled up by Charlie again and he said, guess what guys, I've got another lookout for you.
There was a very steep canyon drop off, a huge rock bluff off to one side as well. But he took us there because it hasn't been hit by some of the recent bushfires in the last few decades.
The property definitely throws out some amazing flora and fauna.
Now we're still debating what to name these things.
Yakka bushes.
Grass trees.
Kangaroo tails.
I know them as a grass tree because that's what they're called over here in SA. Some of them were taller than I am, which is quite an impressive age on that sort of tree.
It was well worth the short walk from where we were able to park to get out there. Thanks again, Charlie. After we'd seen a couple of beautiful lookouts, we drove along a ridge top on the 9 out of 10 track.
Another few little jump ups and pinches to keep us interested and on our toes.
The weather went from just hot to bloody hot, and all of a sudden it started to get quite windy.
We don't have any aircon, so we've got the windows down and we're just having a hair disaster.
Yeah, I've got the same problem, Simon.
We used to call that 240 air conditioning. 2 windows, 40 kilometres an hour.
We really copped it. The dust was blowing right across the track. Visibility was poor because we had dust coming up from vehicles anyway. Plus there's also this sweeping dust coming along through this valley along the top of the ridge where we were.
Once we saw that the wind was really picking up, Simon over the radio was just telling us that it was probably best to go have lunch back at the camps.
The staff, the crew, have been working super hard, so I want to cook them up something that's going to fill their bellies ready for an afternoon of filming. So we're making hamburgers. A little bit of a secret to the recipe when you're out here cooking in these areas is to toast your buns. Some potato salad, some cheese, get a little bit of greenery in there. Simon's special lunch surprise, done quick and easy on the MDC kitchen. Wrap your lips around that.
Hanging.
That had been a really interesting morning, and from what Charlie tells us, the afternoon it was only going to get more interesting. Charlie has promised us a dry creek bed.
It hasn't been open to the public for very long, like about 24 hours.
Easy sort of drive out to an area that they call front track. Simon noses up to this creek bed.
Nice easy drop in and a hard right. Bring it on, Gavin.
I'm bringing it.
As we're conversing along, all of a sudden the ground starts to change from all the bull dust that we've been seeing to now rocky and shaly.
Totally different driving than up there. We were down there.
It's slow, steady. It's all about wheel placement.
Gabs is stock height, so it could get quite twisty and interesting here for him.
Simon felt that I might need a bit of spotting.
So keep forward, push across to your right. Right. And drive through.
Thank you very much. It starts easy and builds in intensity. Each step that you come across, more difficult, more challenging step.
Still sandy, but the rocks are starting to get bigger.
Dropping down and missing rocks.
There hasn't been a whole lot of technical driving, so it was a lot of fun. We really tested the Piranha gear to the max. Really awesome to see how well it handled.
You got the patrol through without rubbing the side steps too hard.
Really good to be able to just go up these creek beds, and I look at them and think, wow, what would this be like when it was running? Amazing sight, I reckon.
1 or 2 wheel spins, nothing low range can't handle. But then we hit this section and boy, this was next level.
It actually looks pretty tough. Grow up, mate.
I said, geez, we're going to have to turn around. There's no way they're going to take vehicles over that. What did they do?
He's dancing over those rocks.
Holy Holy
Watch your rear diff housing on the rock. Nah, Simon, you hung up on your rear diff housing.
Now we are talking.
Oh yeah!
I think we're all going to need a spotter for this one.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Keep coming. That's good, yep. Keep coming.
Rock crawling, it is the most extreme example of wheel placement.
Keep going. Straighten up, straighten up.
I tell you what, trust is a must. Even though your instincts are trying to tell you to do something completely different.
Up, hard left.
Hooking hard left, hard left. Keep hooking hard left.
That drops. Oh, do you want to do this? I think you should do it. No, you do it, mate. You'll be fine. Just listen to what Simon says.
Definitely did get a lot more comfortable coming along. I think without Simon's guidance, I definitely would have broken the car in some way.
Right, yep, that's it. Just straight now. Left, a little bit of left.
Can you send that one to me, please? I'll myself.
We get to this big rock. You got 2 choices. You can straddle it to the left, you can straddle it to the right.
We knew it was going to be exciting straight away because Simon started to unbolt the treads off the side of the bigger Vecco. Simon said, look, let's go and have a look at it. The creek bed was fairly wide. On the left-hand side, you had a shelf coming up. Through the middle, there was a shelf coming up that started later. And in between was a huge, deep crevice. If you could straddle a car on the left, that was the easy track. The right-hand side is the harder track.
First up, Charlie had to get the camera guys through and his car, obviously. We're just sitting back going, what a big wheel lift. What are we in for? We all know Simon, he needs that rush. The big Iveco, there's nowhere that thing can't go. As always, got the huge flex.
All right, that was awesome. I had a lot less stress on the vehicle than what Charlie had with the line that he took. We might see if we can put somebody else through that line. Well, that's what I think, but people tell me that opinions count, so how about you leave a comment below?
Decided I'm going to follow a similar line to what Simon took. I felt that for me and my vehicle, it was a more suitable line. Is that rear bar? Oh, then that'll grow back.
Good news for ARB is that's their business.
With a little bit of road building, we managed to scrabble it through there. Oh.
Very impressed. In fact, he made it look easy. Call it lucky, call it skills, it doesn't matter.
Nice try.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Simon had asked if anyone wanted to volunteer to take the harder track, and I put my hand up and said, yeah, I'll have a go. Basically had to ride the edge of a tyre along the sidewall of another piece of rock to squeeze through this really narrow gap. The vehicle did start to slip down to the left, and it was going to create an issue where I could have damaged the vehicle and potentially even myself and my son Jamie.
We're on a nasty incline. We've got wheels in holes and all trying to mount something at the same time.
We may need the winch for this.
Bring Simon back. Even the big tread boards couldn't give him enough grip to get out of there.
Clear, winching!
Slipping sideways. Oh! Is that bad?
I might reposition the car down a bit lower.
I only needed about that far to be pulled forward, and I was over the peak of it.
Just drive very gentle, Chris.
Yay! I made it.
After seeing that, everyone's like, oh, this is actually pretty technical. I did the left line, not the right line that Mickey just made a meal of. The Prado made it look like the easiest thing since sliced bread.
Go on, Clearview, let's see what you got.
Greg and I just sat there and looked at each other and we said, we're in a Ranger standard suspension.
I think that I've done enough damage over the years. I took the easy track and went up and around all the obstacles.
Tristan in the Piranha car, I reckon he was sweating out that hair gel.
There was some steep rocks and pretty much our front wheel was up in the air.
We'd survived the worst, or so we'd thought. As the sun began to set, so did our hopes of finishing this track.
Stop. Back up.
I'm going to enjoy watching this.
Make sure you're watching next week for the massive finish of our epic trip to the southern Flinders Ranges.
Listen to... I want you to shut up and listen. Hey, stop talking. Shut up and listen. Sit.
please.
Sit down. Are you asking me a question? Now you can sit down. No, you are
it wasn't on the
stupid
morning.
people. Got it, girl? Who cares? I don't want you to speak.